Greetings! Today, let's talk about twin flame soul contracts, which is kind of an easy mistake to make. You know, what to do about it, what they are, if that's a thing. And the reason it's an easy mistake to make is because it just seems like this is some kind of a relationship, some kind of a relating experience. It's like you and this other person, and you've got some stuff that you need to work out or something. And the reason people are making this mistake is because most people treat the whole twin flame phenomenon like it's soulmates, right? And they don't realize they're doing that. And it's an easy mistake to make because, sure, when you first meet this person, it's incredibly romantic. It's like the best ever romance. It's total euphoria, you know. They call that the bubble phase. It usually doesn't last very long, usually anywhere from like 4 to 8 weeks. And then after the initial breakup, oh my God, do you crash? I went through the whole thing, guys. I met my twin flame. I was the so-called chaser, right? And now we're together. I've helped a lot of people to be with their twin flame. And here's how I did it. I figured out the first mistake everybody makes about this is to think of this in terms of separateness, separation, soulmates, my soul. And it's the two of us, right? And you don't even really realize you're doing it. But the whole thing with a soulmate is, guys, it is two souls. It's my soul and another person, and they've got their soul. But with your twin flame, remember now, it's one soul, right? What's the one thing everybody gets right about twin flames? It's that it's one soul in two bodies, right? And it isn't really very hard to understand how that could work. I've already made a bunch of videos about this. If you're curious to know what this really is, how it really works, how could it be that we are the same soul, go check out my Twin Flame Science playlist. There's a whole playlist on my YouTube channel called Twin Flame Science. And the second video in there, I explain like why they run. It's actually a mechanics reason why they run, right? Because this is a direct experience with your soul. So what's the deal with soul contracts? Well, it's your soul. Do you have a contract with your soul? Again, some people might want to fight and argue over this talking point. There's a lot of like dogma, ideology around stuff like this. People try to call stuff like this spiritual. It's not. It's like religion or something. It's an ideology. Now, there is a reason people believe in stuff like this, because when you come down into this physical reality, let's say with like your parents or something like that, is not very hard to understand that you guys probably made some kind of a plan when you were up in heaven, right? The afterlife, the before life really is what it is. You made some kind of a plan. Here's what we're going to do when we get down there, right? And people call that a soul contract. I don't love that term because it makes it sound like you have to do it. And the fact is, the way that really works is you don't, but maybe you should, okay? You can not do it. You can not stick to the plan. That you can say no to it. You can. But maybe you should. Maybe it is a good idea, right? Whatever that is, whatever that a plan was, agreement, right? The things that we're going to do while we're down there, when we reincarnate down there. So like, again, with your parents or friends, maybe you've got like a really close friend, or maybe somebody else that you used to date, right? A soulmate type person. Sure, there could be stuff like that. Absolutely. I'm not going to say there's no such thing as soul contracts. I think people make them far too dogmatic, and they make it like this, like you have to and you better, and they make it into this like weird religious ideology, and it's just kind of a negative experience. But again, do you have a contract with your soul? Remember, your twin flame is your soul. And again, if you had a contract with your soul, who's the you that has the contract with your soul? Think about it. So, who are you? What is the self? Well, I mean, in the conventional sense, body, mind, soul, I guess you are this three-part triune being. You are this mortal person, right? So that's me in like daily life, or at least that's what I perceive myself to be, right? But who are you really? Who are you beyond the body and mind? You're the soul. Okay, so if I'm the soul, how can I have a relationship with myself? See, the ego mind, the mind, body, mind, soul, the mind can have a relationship with itself. This is what's so interesting about the mind. This is something, that in the Zen traditions, they're gonna point out to you the complexity of the mind, how it can like play itself off against itself. Or like, if we're thinking in terms of psychology, then you could focus on yourself. So there's always got to be this subject-object relationship with the mind, right? And this is why spiritual teachers refer to the mind as separation. Ram Dass, he did that all the time. Rupert Spira, he does it. Eckhart Tolle, he speaks in similar terms. The mind is separation, it's duality. It always has got to have this subject-object relationship. And that's what that word really is, by the way. That's where that word really comes from. It comes from the Zen traditions. So can you have a contract with yourself? Well, the mind thinks it can. But here's the thing about the soul, you guys. It's not separation. It's unity, union. It's the one. You maybe have kind of heard about these two types of teachings. Like in the spiritual world, you've got where we talk about the duality, the yin yang, the two, the light and dark, the masculine feminine, the positive negative, right? Yin and yang. So there's this duality. And then you've heard people say stuff like, there's the one. I'm at one with everything. Right? And you're like, well, what are they talking about? Well, this is what they're talking about. This is one of the fundamental laws of the universe. Everything came from the one, which there is no subject-object relationship. Right? And then there's everything that came from that, which is the two, the duality of the universe. And science even has their own set of terminologies to describe essentially the same thing, the discipline of science. So we're all talking about the same thing. Isn't that interesting? So here's what I'm telling you. The truth is, you can't have a contract with your twin flame because there's no other. If you try to have a contract with your twin flame, a soul contract, they're probably going to continue to run from you. If you're somebody who's tried to like dig into that, analyze it, do some kind of healing work, all this kind of conceptual stuff, which again, it's an easy mistake to make. I know why people are doing that stuff on the internet, because again, most people treat this like soulmates and they don't realize they're doing it. Because that's kind of how this starts out at the beginning with your person, but that's not what it really is. And in fact, when you are permanently together with your twin flame, at the end, it's complete oneness. It's not there's no like soulmate dynamic. It's just like peace. It's Zen, right? And I've talked about this before. There's a bunch of people I've interviewed on my YouTube channel, students that I've helped get married to their twin flame, and you can go check it out for yourself. It's called the Twin Flame Success Stories. There's a whole playlist. Go check out that playlist, Twin Flame Success Stories. And they'll tell you themselves. Rooksar, Chanel talked about it, Gretel, Carly. They all talk about this, how with your twin flame, it's as the soul when you are permanently together at the end. It's this peace. So there's no subject-object relationship. And they call that unity consciousness, which again, that's where the word union really comes from. At Ram Dass, he talked about it, union, what that is, right? Unity consciousness. Rupert Spira too. Buddha, maybe used different terminology, but we're all talking about the same thing. There's these two basic laws of the universe to understand. There's the one, and then there's the two, the duality, the separation. There's the one of union or unity, and the duality of separation, having a subject-object relationship, which is the mind. And if this was a soulmate, you could do that, and it might actually help. You can have a conceptual, soul contract, relating experience, subject-object, mental, relating experience with your soulmate and work on it, and it might work. But with your twin flame, it backfires. And again, go watch my What Are Twin Flames video on my Twin Flame Science playlist if you want to understand the mechanics of that. But with your twin flame, all bets are off. There's no contract. There's no soul contract. You can't relate to yourself because you are the self. The true self, the soul, guys, which is oneness. There's no subject-object relationship. So just forget about soul contracts when it comes to your twin flame. That's not a thing. And it's holding you back. So that's the deal with that. All right, guys.